Cavalcante's mother is saying that he's not a threat. Okay. Ain't nothing like the power of denial. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below. And let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you crush that follow button on my Facebook page if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. Okay, y'all, this is crazy. All right, we already know that we've been following this whole Danelo Cavalcante escaped convict, convicted monster that's out here running amok in these Pennsylvania streets, okay? Out here in these wilderness streets right now. It's been day 13 as of the recording of this video here. And now the mother has come out with a statement. Well, not a statement, but she had a lot to say. And like I said, is she a ride or die? Like she ride or die, or it is never underestimate the power of denial, or it's a combination of all those things, including like my son, my baby is a saint. Don't matter what you say. I don't care how many bodies he's done put under the ground. My son is a saint. It's insane. This article, this interview, holy cow, says a lot. And could say a lot about how Danelo thinks in his own mind as well. Let's take a look at this article, y'all. Like I said, this is crazy. This is nook and foots. Okay, in her first interview, his mother, the monster's mother, said that her son had unalived 2 people. We got to use these code words. But she insisted that he was not a threat to the public. What? This dude has zero care for human life. He's done it twice. Who says if you really think he's not going to be able to do it a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, umpteenth time? Come on, sweetheart. I'm not feeling this, but let's get into it. All right. We already know he's been out here in these Pennsylvania wilderness streets, kicking rocks, hiding out, ducking out, and all that stuff. Okay. We already know that he is armed and very dangerous. He's got a rifle in his possession. Apparently, it's locked and loaded. He's got a scope on it and a freaking flashlight up in this piece. So he's definitely not somebody you want to have a gun in their possession, right? But let's look at this. Back home in rural Brazil, his mother, okay, and Iracema or Irakema, hopefully somebody tell me in the comments if I'm saying it right or wrong. Which one is it? Iracema or Irakema? Cavalcante sees a son whose life has trained him to live alone and overcome hardships, preparing him for this long flight from authorities after being convicted of emming his ex-girlfriend. And he also did take the life of somebody else. Let's not forget that. And then they say here, but the mother, while saying her son attacked his girlfriend in Pennsylvania in 2021 and took the life of a man in Brazil in 2017, insists her son, even if armed. This is the most delusional comment I've ever seen. Did not pose a threat to anyone. So you got a guy who's out here who's taking people's lives. He's got a rifle out here in these streets. He escapes. Let's just say that really quick. He escapes, gets his hands on a rifle. He's known as being a dangerous person because of his track record. And now you're telling me he doesn't pose a threat to anyone? Okay. She says he's just fighting to survive, as he has much of his life. His training was his suffering, she said in her first interview since her son escaped from prison last month. It was going to sleep hungry. It was waking up as I wondered what to feed them. They say that this monster never went to school, she said, and instead began working at the age of 5. He first shined shoes, then sold vegetables in a market, and by the age of 7, was working in the fields on someone else's farm, she said. We're poor, we're humble, but we're workers. And she apparently did this, said all of this in a nearly hour-long interview on Tuesday morning. What we have, we fought to get. Now, one thing I want to say really quick, all right? Sure, there are a lot of people that are born into hardships, but that does not justify the taking of people's lives. That doesn't justify just because he had a hard upbringing that it's now okay that he's done these unthinkable things to two individuals. God knows who else he's done this same thing to as well. So, he's had a hard life. Yeah, sure, it's fine. You know, we should just open up the prison doors and just let him walk out. It's fine. You've had a hard life. That I don't like. That is BS. Like I said, it's like she's a ride or die. She thinks her son is an angel, even though her son did some very deplorable things. Let's be real. Let's continue. The authorities in Pennsylvania said that upbringing had most likely made him very hard to catch because he's used to being out here in these streets. He's used to living off the land. So it's not surprising to me that he's able to last out there. And this is what the Lieutenant Colonel Bivens of the PSP told reporters last week. The whole goal here is not a contest of how much can you take out there. It's how much can we stress you? How much can we push you that you make a mistake and we capture you? Yeah, this is literally a waiting game at this point. Let's keep it real until he really slips up. Now, obviously, they're talking about the moment that he almost got in trouble. He almost got in trouble when he tried to, when he entered the open garage, he stole the rifle. And then there was a firefight, or at least the homeowner fired at him while he was getting robbed. But he has a gun now, and he's out here running in these streets as we speak. So the mom did not dispute her son's guilt in both unalivings, but she also argued that in both cases, he was cornered, suggesting that his ex-girlfriend had threatened to turn him in to the authorities, and that the life of the man that he took in 2017 wanted to take his life first. So that justifies what? What? In the case of his ex-girlfriend, he was convicted of attacking her nearly 40 times in front of her children. A woman, an unarmed woman with children. And this is what the mother says. His mother says. Did it happen? It happened. But it happened because of the stranglehold she put on him, the stance she took with him. Now, is this the most insane? We're not even done yet, but is this the most insane response to a criminal who's actively out here in these streets, who is clearly an animal, clearly a monster? And she's sitting here saying, oh no, he was put in a corner. He got pinned in the corner. He had to fight his way out every last time. You got to whoop. I don't know about the street situation with the guy and all that, but still taking that life is not right either. But you got a woman, unarmed, a mother, allegedly saying that she was going to turn him in, and he goes and does this, and mama is justifying this type of action? This is insane. Let's continue. She added, it wasn't femicide. He had to. He had no other choice. Yes, he had other choices. He could have just walked out. He could have just said, hey, okay, you say you're going to do this. Let's see if you do it, girl. And walk out. He didn't have to take her life. He didn't have to go and attack her 40 times. Come on. Miss Cavalcante said her son should face consequences for his crimes. Great. But she argued that life in prison or losing his life at the hands of police was unjust. She continues saying, if I said my son didn't make a mistake, I'd be lying. I know what my son did was wrong. I know my son should pay for his mistake, but I want my son to pay for his mistake with dignity, not to pay with his life. Okay, fine. Bring him back into prison. But you are sitting here saying that life in prison is unjust? What? What? So you think that your son should be out here in these streets, living life, breathing in this freedom air? Come on, y'all. I'm not feeling this. Now, they obviously as well have been blasting an audio recording from their cars, police have been, of his mother's voice, urging him to turn himself in. Now, Miss Cavalcante said that she never spoke with police, but they requested the audio through her daughter. And this part is very interesting too. She has been the sister, okay, the daughter has been living in the United States, but is now being deported. As the interview unfolded and she reflected on her son's options, Miss Cavalcante became more fatalistic. Wow. She said that faced with life in a maximum security prison, he may be better off losing his life now than turning himself in. This is what? If it's to go to a place to suffer and die in that place, it's better off to die soon. It's better to die soon. That's what she said. You don't have to suffer so much. Just pass on, just to pass on later. She added, today, I see my son is gone. She said, my son does not exist anymore. In a strange place, trampled, everyone lying about him, saying he's something that he's not. What is it that the rest of the world is saying right now that you're saying we're lying about? That's what I'd like to know. Like I said, the level of delusion coming from this woman right now, the mother, is absolutely insane. And don't get me wrong, I get it. A mother's love is impenetrable. It's like titanium. It's indestructible. But at the same time, he was convicted. He was found guilty. He was convicted of that crime. He skipped a whole other country. He left Brazil to escape the M charges that he was looking at in Brazil, for crying out loud. How many ways can you tell me you did it without telling me you did it? Then he goes and takes the life of his ex-girlfriend right in front of his kids, or right in front of her kids, I'm sorry. And you're telling me that people are lying about him? People are lying on him? Come on, y'all. This is the strangest thing. She said that if she could send a message to her son now, it would not be a plea to turn himself in, but rather that she asks God, or he asks God, to forgive him for what he did. I've never heard such a wild, I don't even know what the word is. This is just crazy. And she's sitting here, at least the way I'm interpreting this, it's like he can do no wrong. She realizes that what he's done is wrong. He's done some wrong, but at the same time, she's sitting there going, well, he took some lives, but does he really have to be in prison? That doesn't make any sense. And she's already chalked it up like he is gone already. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Cavalcante. This man, this monster is out here in these streets, still alive. So instead of just sitting there going like, oh yeah, I'd rather him go and make good with God type stuff, Hey, how about try to find ways of helping getting this monster, the monster that you brought into the world, by the way, this is your son, trying to find ways to get him back in prison where he belongs rather than him losing his life. It's almost as if it just feels like she's kind of rooting for it. She wants him to be gone. That's messed up. Now, the fact that he has a rifle in his hands and he's not only just dangerous, but he's armed and dangerous. Yeah, it sounds like it could end in a very, very bad way. But there's a lot that Miss Cavalcante could be doing to help with law enforcement get him home or get him in prison in one piece. That's my thought on that. Wildest interview I've ever seen. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Where do you stand with this? This is insane. I want to know what his sister's like, if he has any other extended family. What are they all like? Do they have the same philosophy? This is insane, y'all. Comment down below, hit that like button. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, do not forget to crush that follow button on Facebook. It'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family on both platforms. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.